Hey, this is Rachel Friedman, and you are listening to The Wellness Boss. To really compete in the wellness industry, you have to have a fully integrated business. That's why each week I will be answering your questions, sharing my stories, giving you tips and advice on how to create a business you love and that makes money. Let's get started. You are listening to the Wellness Boss podcast. My name is Rachel Friedman, and I am so excited you are here with me today. Episode number 34, Big Hairy Ass Goals. All right, Happy New Year, everyone. Did you do something fun? I got up at 4 a.m. to catch a flight home. So we had a super chill New Year's Eve, and it was absolutely perfect. I had spent the week in Florida with my family and my 2 kids and my parents, and we had the most beautiful, amazing weather that you could ever dream of. It was seriously 80 degrees and sunny every day with a little bit of a breeze. I mean, right now, as it's pouring outside here in Atlanta, I just want to close my eyes and go back there. But that's okay. I'm home now, and I'm actually okay with that because I love my home. I love my husband. He wasn't with us. And I love my career. I love my job. I love that today, after I finish recording this episode, I get to spend my day coaching people, hanging out with some of my favorite people in the world. So anyways, I wanted to just share some insights I had with being with my parents for a week and what it really shines the light on. And I have great parents and I had a great childhood for the most part, but sometimes what we don't realize how it affects us and how it can affect us throughout adulthood. And it can actually impact what we want in our life. So being around my parents made me realize, which I already knew this, but it just shined the real light back on it, was that my parents really take things very seriously. Meaning, we went to play mini golf, the kids and I, my parents, and my kids are teenagers, so they can be smart alecks, and they don't tend to take a lot of things seriously, let's just say. And they were playing around, and well, my daughter decided to smack the ball, which we all know at mini golf, not required, and it went past my dad, and he got so angry because she wasn't taking it seriously. Actually, in all truthfulness, neither of my kids were taking it seriously, and it was really pissing my dad off. You could tell from the inside he was fuming, that he just didn't know how to be playful, and that for him, even playing mini golf was a serious game. Now, to my dad's credit, he does play a lot of golf and he does take it pretty seriously. So this is his thing, but they're teenagers and they just wanted to have fun. And it really was a wake-up call for me because I know I can easily fall into this too. I do serious really well, people. But when it comes to being playful, I often struggle. So one of my 2022 goals, if that's what you want to call it, is to be more playful in my life, to have more fun. Because life is meant to be fun and not so freaking serious. So to really embody that playfulness that my kids, even as teenagers, are still able to tap into. So being with my parents was great, and in some ways was stressful. And maybe you can relate, because a lot of the things from my childhood that I still often am working through came right to the surface. What I want you to know is that this work that we do on ourselves is never ending, people. It is a work in progress. It's very much like a yoga practice. I think that's part of the reason I fell so hard and fast for yoga so quickly, is because it was seen as a practice. You didn't have to get it perfect or right, and you're going to always be working on it. That is so true with ourselves and the stories we have from childhood up and through our adulthood until I think the day we die. So there is my preaching, my spiel. Never stop working on yourself because it is an endless journey. And that is part of living this thing called life, this human experience, which can be so incredible and really fucking hard, pardon my French. So New Year's just passed, and I know a lot of you are thinking about your New Year's resolutions, or maybe you already set them. I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. I think they set us up for failure. What people do is they set a resolution. Maybe they're going to lose 50 pounds, or they're going to start exercising more, or they're going to finally meditate every day. And then they set these big goals without any intention maybe behind it or why they're doing it, other than they think it is to feel better. And what they don't understand is that's really not what's going to make them feel better. So they fail. So instead, I like to set goals, and I love setting goals. And I want you to know is I don't just set them at New Year's. I actually set them consistently, but why not the first of a month, which is January, right? As you're listening to this, it will be the first week of January. In all truthfulness, though, I used to be a goal avoider. So I would tell you I didn't believe in them, which is plain old ridiculous because of course I had them floating around in the back of my mind. That's just how human brains work. I just didn't want to commit to them because of the fear that I wouldn't be able to accomplish them. Maybe you can relate. So by not creating them, I was just choosing to fail in advance, in all truthfulness. Sound familiar? All right. So you might be the type of person who sets tons of goals, but then struggles to create results, or sets goals and then forgets about them within a few days. So if you fall into any of these categories, like me, you're a goal avoider, not anymore, I'm not, but like previous me, or you set big, high goals and then forget about them, or you set a goal and then you don't ever seem to hit the results you want, I want you to listen in because this episode is going to help change all of that for you today. At least that's my hope. When I start working with a client, one of the first things we actually do is decide on a goal that we're going to work on. Together, we then spend the next several months working on that one goal. Yes, one goal, people. Because one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they try to set too many goals at once. Let's be real. Setting goals can be actually super fun. It can feel inspiring and exciting. It's that shiny object syndrome, which our brains love. But when we set many goals at once, it's actually too much for us to actually process. In the end, we just bail on them all and get nothing accomplished. So before you go setting your goal, I want to get you into a really good headspace. This is really important. If you're driving, I'm going to highly encourage you re-listen to this episode because I'm going to give you some things to do and you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. I'm a pencil type of girl. I want you first to write down 3 to 5 goals that you have actually already accomplished. Yes. Okay. Hear that again. Write down 3 to 5 things that you've already accomplished. Okay. So pause the podcast and do this. And if you're like me and you don't ever pause the podcast, just do yourself a favor and pause the podcast and do this. When you've got those 3 to 5 goals that you've already accomplished, then turn it back on. Okay. So why did I ask you to do this? This gets your brain believing and seeing that you can accomplish the goals you set for yourself. Most people don't take this step, so their brain is already believing it can't do it. That's just the way our brains are wired, people. Our brains are actually wired negatively. And I know that sounds really effed up, but it is the truth. For years, I wondered, why am I such a negative person? That's what I thought all the time. And the truth is, guess what? Hear this again. We all are, because that's how we thrived. That's how we evolved. That's how we are here today, people. We're not going to go into that, but I just want you to know that nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is broken. Okay. Now that you have your 3 to 5 goals down, we can get to work on setting your new goal. First, I want you to set a really big long-term goal. Okay, so we're just going to go into dream world for a moment. So let's think far down the road. Let's go 10 years. 10 years from now, I want you to come up with one thing you want to have accomplished. And this might even freak you out a little bit. It should. So you might be asking yourself, how am I going to freaking know 10 years from now? How can I possibly commit to that? Here's the thing. Your goal might change. Likely it will. It's not a problem. I just want you to dream for a moment. I want you to desire for a moment. We don't let ourselves do this enough. And by setting this long-term goal, it's going to help us focus on our short-term goals. So, what will your long-term 10-year goal be? Decide it's something you want to create for yourself. Let me give you an example. My 10-year goal is to have a beachfront property for me and my family to be able to go to often. I want to be able to go to the beach whenever I freaking want. I love it there. I want to wake up to the sunrise on the water, take long walks on the sand, and enjoy that ocean breeze every freaking day. That is one. That is my 10-year goal. Okay? You're all going to hold me to it, right? Now, after you have your 10-year goal, we want to slow it down a little bit, right? We want to bring it back to now. So we want to come up with your short-term goal. And often this is where all the drama is going to come up. Your brain is going to want to set several goals. Maybe a health goal, a financial goal, a relationship goal, and so on and so on. But for today, I want you to focus on one. You need to pick one right now to focus on, because we're going to focus on it and we're going to commit to it for the next 90 days. The truth is, if you want to be successful, we want to have one goal to focus on. Your short-term goal here, my friends, should make you really uncomfortable. If it doesn't, you're just adding something to your to-do list, and that's not what this is about. Goals should stretch you. Now, if you're doing it because you want to feel good, like for example, if your 90-day goal is to lose 10 pounds, right? And you're doing that because you want to feel better in your body, shit ain't gonna work, people. Your goal is not meant to make you feel better, because let's be real, goals make you uncomfortable. So don't do it to make you feel better. It's got to be bigger than that. That's why this is called a goal. It's going to take work. Work requires you to be uncomfortable, okay? So what's the short-term goal you're going to commit to right now for the next 90 days? I want you to write it down. My short-term goal is to sell out the Live Your Dharma Coaching certification, okay? I'm going to do it in the next 90 days, and I want to do it twice. That freaks me out a little bit, okay? So now comes all the drama. Make a list of all of the obstacles to achieving your goal. Why is this not going to happen? All the excuses. Why it's going to be hard. What's going to get in your way? Write it all down. And when you have your goal written out for the next 90 days and why it's not possible, or why your brain is saying it's going to be really hard, then you get to turn on the podcast again. Okay. Are you struggling? Let me give you an example. And then you can turn it off again if you need to. So here's an example from my goal. My warm audience isn't large enough. Not enough people know about my program. People have already invested in other programs. People are terrified to invest in themselves. And it goes on and on. Now you know exactly what's going to get in your way, okay? So if you didn't do this yet, make sure you go back and take this step, because this is fantastic news, because we can begin to solve for it. If we stay in the mindset, of course, of hitting our goals, right? then we can have a greater chance of getting that result. But if we're in the mindset that it's not going to happen, then guess what's going to happen? Nothing. So the first step is we have to get you in the headspace where you can see that it is possible. Now, I want you to make a new list, a list of why this could happen, why it's a yes. Let me give you another example from mine. I have 5,000 friends on Facebook and over 1,200 followers on Instagram. That's definitely a big enough audience. If I'm to be sold out, that's 10 people. There's definitely 10 people who follow me and who want what I'm offering. People invest in lots of programs. You can never stop learning. I know that for a fact because I invest continually in myself, and I'm not a rare unicorn. I don't even think I can count on one hand how many programs I continually have invested in to continue my knowledge and to grow my skills as a coach. And I did the same thing as a yoga teacher. I can help people see how investing in themselves is the safest and the most strategic investment someone can ever make. Oh, I love that one. Okay, now that you can see I'm in possibility, let's go to the place of what you will be thinking and feeling when you hit your goal. Now, this is a very important step. So let's just review really quickly in case I lost you. Number 1 was you write down the goal. Number 2, why can this not happen? Number 3, why could it happen? And number 4 now is what will I be thinking and feeling when it does happen? So do you see I'm taking you into done energy? And it's more important what you're thinking and feeling, my friends, than anything else. Okay, I want you to close your eyes and stay with me for a moment. Close your eyes, and I want you to visualize your goal as if it is done already. Okay, so 3 months from now, where you have hit your goal. Just keep your eyes closed. Not if you're driving. If you're driving, re-listen to this. What do you feel in your body? Guys, we have to go to our bodies. They are very wise. And most of us spend most of our time in our heads. What do you feel in your body when you're in done energy? When you've hit that goal? What does it feel like? Can you find it in your body? Is it in your chest? Is it in your belly? Maybe it's in both. Maybe there's a fluttering in your belly and an excitement in your chest. And like a buzz in your fingertips. That's what happens for me. Now that you're connected to your body, stay with it. Be in that sensation and notice what goes on in your mind. What are you thinking? And stay with it. Let the thoughts just flood in. When you're ready, open your eyes and write it all down. I call this being in done energy. The truth is, if you want to hit a goal, you have to start thinking and acting and feeling as the person who has already accomplished the goal. Hear that again. If you want to hit a goal, you have to start to live from the place of the person who has already accomplished it, with your energy, with your thoughts, with your feelings, and with your actions. So, from these thoughts and feelings, from this done energy, what steps do you need to take to make your goal happen? What's going to seal the deal? I want you to make a list of everything you can think of. Let me give you an example of what this has looked like for me. From launching my coaching business to creating those first few clients, okay? What would you need to do? For me, for selling out the Live Your Dharma coaching certification, I know the most important thing is that I am practicing all my own tools, constantly working on my skills. For me, that looks like coaching myself and getting coached. I know I have to show up consistently, and I need to share about it. I need to be real, and I need to be authentic, and I need to be vulnerable. I need to create content that inspires and compels people. I need to continue to build relationships and connect with people, because we all know people buy from those they like and they trust, the ones they feel energetically pulled towards. I need to keep my energy clean, so I need to do my daily energy clearing. I need to keep my mind sharp, so reading and educating myself. These are just a few of the things that are going to seal the deal for me. What is going to seal the deal for you? What actions are going to move you towards hitting your goal? If you're getting started as a coach, number one on your list should be working on your skills. Actually, I don't care if you're a coach. I don't care if you're a yoga teacher, an energy healer, a hypnotherapist. I don't care what you do, how you help people. But it should always be that you're working on your skills. You should be working through the tools that you teach. This is the foundation of your business, my friends. Then, what else are you going to be doing? Notice as you make your list, any drama that comes up. Do you feel any resistance in your body, any tightness? And if yes, it's normal. I want you to know that. And it's probably going to happen. And it's important you get coached on it, or you coach yourself on it, because the drama is what's going to hold you back. It's what always gets in your way. And it's essential that we clean it up when we get that shit right out of the way. Remind yourself, setting goals, working towards your goals is uncomfortable and it's going to require work. But this is why this step I wanted to talk about here. Why is it worth it? Why is this goal more important to you, for you, than all of your excuses and feeling comfortable and staying status quo? What is going to be the impact of hitting the goal for you and for your life, right? And remember, it can't be because you want to feel better, because that's not what a goal is going to do, not at least in the short term. For example, why do I want to sell out my program? Not because it's going to make me feel better, but because I love it. It's so fun coaching people. It's so fun teaching them. And I know when I create these coaches, they're going to go out into the world and they're going to have an impact on people they come in contact with, whether it's for themselves personally, for their families, or for clients they now go help. And that compounding effect, that's what I'm about. I want this world to be a better place for everyone, because I know it can be. And I want everyone to experience what it's like to truly be a human and not be afraid of their emotions, to not feel stuck in any area of their life, to feel alive. Do you see how it's not so much even about me, but it's about the compounding effect it has on our society? Okay, so what's the impact of hitting your goal for you, for your life, and maybe the lives of others? Now that you have your goal and your action plan, you have to go to work on it, people. You have to every morning write your goal down. Because remember, if you're one of those people like me that forget your goal, you need to remind yourself of what it is. Then underneath it, write down everything you're thinking about. Go back to your strategy and pick three priorities that are going to help get you to that goal, that you're going to focus on every day. This is going to help you stay focused and on track. So let's review. Pick a goal. Yes, 1. 2, make sure there's a way you can measure it. So it could be on a scale of 1 to 10, or it could be a number, but we got to be able to measure your goal. For example, if you picked that in the next 90 days, I want to make $20,000. You want to figure out how you're going to make that happen. If you decide that I want to launch a coaching business. How are you going to make that happen? Okay. What is that going to look like? Right? Is that signing your first client? Is that going through certification? Right? What is the goal? What is the end result? How are you going to measure if you did it? Okay. Make sure you do the math. So if it's a number goal, a dollar goal, a client goal, just make sure there's math there so you can evaluate, right? Or if it's that you're going to, for example, you want to go through certification, you want to start this process of becoming a coach, right? In 90 days, what is that going to look like? What are you going to have accomplished? Maybe certified, maybe halfway through certification, but have a number that you can measure, that you registered, whatever it is, okay? If you're working on anxiety, right? Have a scale of 1 to 10. My anxiety is going to be, instead of a 9, it's going to be a 7. All right, you guys got it. Now that you have your number, what you need to do per month, right? Let the drama come up. Why won't it happen? Get it all out. Don't hide from it. We have to let ourselves see it. That shit doesn't work. When you hide, it never works. Then the next step, why is it going to happen? So step 1, write down the goal. Step 2, let the drama come up. Why is it not going to happen? What are all the obstacles? Step 3, why is it possible? Why is it a yes? After you have both lists, close your eyes. Step 4, get into the energy of doneness of being in done energy. You want to visualize it. You want to visualize what you will be thinking and feeling when you're done. Okay, and then write it down. Last step, what are you going to do to seal the deal? What actions are you going to take? Now, here's where I want you to take a bonus step. Tell someone. Tell someone, because this helps to solidify it. Write it down, put it by your desk or somewhere you will see it often. And then every morning, reconnect with your goal. Like a friend. Hey, how are you? Check it. Whenever you fall out of belief, start the process all over again. All right. I want to hear what your goals are and how they're going to change your life and maybe the lives of others. So send me an email or hit me up on Instagram, Rachel B. Friedman. Send me a message. I want to know. I love to celebrate people, and I want to celebrate you here on the podcast. So if you set a goal and hit it, we can all celebrate with you, with all my listeners, because it's so fun. Let your story be an inspiration to others, people. I promise. It's how we create a compounding effect. Okay, so go to work. Set all the goals. Let's make 2022 epic. And if you are ready to master your coaching skills, take your coaching business to the next level. The Live Your Dharma coaching certification is absolutely the place to be, people. The doors are open right now. I only take 10 people. We have several spots that have already been grabbed. And the next round doesn't start again till April. So you want to get your spot right now. The doors close January 15th. The link to apply is in the show notes. What's going to happen is you're going to go through an application. It takes maybe 10 minutes tops, not even probably. And then it'll send you to book a call with me. What we'll do is we'll jump on the call and we'll just make sure it's a good fit for you. Okay? That's it. Super simple. If it is, great. We celebrate you. If not, I send you resources or tools or steps in the direction that you want to go. All right, my friends. Have a wonderful, fantastic week. Happy New Year. See you next time. Namaste. Ready to create a soul-aligned business that makes an impact and leaves you feeling nourished, both emotionally and financially. Done feeling burnt out and overextended, trying to juggle that 9-to-5 job, a family, a side hustle, which is really what you are meant to be doing. But just haven't figured out yet how to make it happen so you can maintain your current lifestyle? I get it. I was exactly in your shoes not that long ago, teaching 20 yoga classes a week, juggling being a single mom, and making enough money to support our lifestyle. It wasn't easy. Then I discovered the work I had been doing with my students in yoga teacher training had another name. It's called coaching. It was applying yoga tools, modalities, philosophies, and principles off the mat. I began to offer this to my students, and they loved it. And I was able to make the amount of money to support my family. Over the last 2 decades, I have been helping people transform their lives through therapy, yoga, and coaching. I'm so excited to have coupled all my knowledge into one place so others can pass it on, so more people can benefit from these amazing tools. It all happens inside the Live Your Dharma coaching certification. You will learn how to teach yoga off the mat, not the postures, people. Help people transform their lives, and guess what? Yours too. And you will also build the foundation for a 6-figure business. Because let's be real, you do need to make money to live in this world. The doors are open. I take 10 people. So save your spot. Go to https://bit.ly, bit.ly/LYDCC. And if you didn't get that, don't worry, it's in the show notes. See you next week for another amazing episode.